Yay! Yeah, it worked. And we are in hour number 2. And I am here with Dean Hankey, who is master magician, money magician. How do you.
Yeah,
Let's say
I'm just here to serve. That's all you
it.
need to
I
know.
know you,
We're
and
going to
you
make a
are.
massive difference, helping people get more of what they ultimately want, need, desire, and deserve. Don't take my word for it. Watch right here, the very tips of my fingers. This is what we're after: is to serve, support, and encourage people with this lovely money thing. Because nothing happens until somebody gets impacted with your love and support. So,
Right.
we're just going to make the magic happen here today.
I love it. I love it, and thank you for being here with me, my friend. You know, I met you in Reno, and it was like an immediate, just a connection. And
It was.
your heart is one, yes, of service. In fact, I'm so excited to say that image that started
Right.
courtesy of Dean. Dean has made all of those images for us that we will be starting each hour with, and he was actually helping me to learn this. This is new technology for me, and it's kind of really fun. I don't know why I haven't been on this platform yet. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool. And again, 10 years ago, there's no way we would be able to broadcast unlike anything else on the planet and do what we do, have the level of impact and generate the level of results that we hope to generate for the people that you serve. So
Exactly, exactly. In fact, I'm going to put the toll-free number up here, and I'm going to be going
Woo-hoo.
back and forth between the toll-free number and the website address. And so, and in fact, I'm going to put the website up because anybody watching from YouTube, that's watching from Facebook, that's watching from any of the other platforms, please share this out also. And I'm going to be going here to my Facebook page, because one thing that I want you guys to understand is that I cannot see your comments like I used to be able to see them on my board. So I'm going to be kind of doing double duty here. And oh, that looks really cool. There's a
You
little
should,
delay.
yeah, you should be able to see this up in the upper right-hand corner where it says comments, probably your top.
Oh.
Click there, you'll see all the ones. You can bring them onto the screen. You can share the love. People can share their love.
Oh.
Hey, there we are. There we go.
Oh
Beautiful.
wow. Okay,
And it
we've
shows
got
where they're commenting
cat.
from, everything.
Awesome. You know it. It's no accident that you were put on the second hour. I love it the way this world works, because you know, when you and I first met and you shared your passion for service,
Yep.
And your just absolute dedication to a particular group that's in your neck of the woods
Right.
that serves those mothers on Easter that are affected by breast cancer. I absolutely I loved it. And then the images you showed me and just everything, and you MC for them, you help to make things happen. And and we need more of that, because
Yes.
what we are building here with Chemo Buddies for Life, and this is something that you and I had talked about way back
Mhm.
in the day, when we didn't have the Global Next Impact, or when we didn't have the beta site in progress, and we didn't have the website even that we have right now and the volunteers, but we knew that there was a need, and you and I spoke, you and I talked about this and where this was going, and how to link places like your organization that you volunteer in Reno, my brick and mortar location, Michelle's place in Temecula, California. So we have Reno, Nevada. We have Temecula, California. We have places back east that have amazing, wonderful, heart-centered
Yeah.
people that are there in their neighborhood. However, they're in their neighborhood, and they're not able to then have that community where they can link in, like what we were talking about in the
Yep.
last hour, where having finally saying, okay, enough is enough. We're going to all work together.
Mm-hmm.
We're nonprofits, and so we can do that. And that's the thrill of it. And we are going to change the way cancer is done one person at a time.
Yes.
And because of the method that we are using, we're able to then say all cancers and all stages and not be biting off too much, because some people ask me that question. However, when you and I spoke, and I remember it almost like it was yesterday,
yep.
Because there are when I was first out there going and meeting everyone and kind of saying, okay, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? You were like, I'm all in. Whatever you need, right? And you've been there ever since.
Yeah, and to me, that's the way business is done. Not should be, not could be, but is done. If we're effective, listen. If we're not contributing back at least to our very own communities, then as far as I'm concerned, we lose the right to be in business. And so our job is to serve, support, and encourage, help those. And that's really ultimately all we all do in business. I mean, even from a strictly strategic and marketing perspective, our job is simply to help people get results. You can market all day, you can do all that wonderful money-making marketing magic stuff, but if you don't help people ultimately get results, then what good are you? So that's what we're doing here today, is we're linking this consumer and commercial side with the heart center. We call it Pay Forward and Profit. It's an international group of business mission-minded passion professionals who simply challenge each other to do great things in our respective communities. Listen, I can raise $20 million for nonprofit groups and organizations, but I can only do so much in my town, in my area. Tamara, you can raise, let's say you raise $1 million and Kay raises $1 million and Joanne raises $1 million. Now all of a sudden we're having a multi-million-dollar, even $1 billion impact doing what we love in our respective areas, whether that's $1 at a time, one person at a time, one impact at a time. So it's huge what we're doing here.
Absolutely. And to be able to know that the end result, yes, like the magic, like you were talking, magic, and I love that. That with the logo and the flames and the whole thing, and I love watching your hands, because it's like, I wonder if things are going to pop out, and in fact, I even have my magic hat somewhere here. Yeah, I have to just find it here. Maybe I can get Brett to help me. There's one that has little jewelies somewhere. And anyway, maybe over there. Okay. Let's see. What did you put here? We've got live. I've got an assistant here.
Yay!
Unavailable on my end. Okay. Okay, it shows that it's okay. We're working on technical stuff too. Sure. Still here. It says that it is working on the board. So let's just make sure of it on the website. And then we will go from there. Let's see here. Let's see. Guys, this is what's fun about watching live programming. I keep thinking about the days of radio and like they were like, okay, yeah, back in the horse and buggy days almost, like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Is it that? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got my magic hat. So,
yay.
All right, so we have my magic hat.
Is that a Raven band?
I'm not sure. You could tell me.
I don't know.
It's a Julie band. I know that.
Julie band. I love it.
Yeah. So I got my Julie hat on. All right. Yeah. So we'll figure out maybe what you can do, if you don't mind, Brett. Just check with Aaron and see it with Tony if there's a problem with the website, and go from there. All right. So we're going to continue.
Yep.
That The idea here of being able to have, through the internet,
yep,
and with all of the different organizations coming together in one place, that's what's going to enable us to finally say, yes, we can serve all cancers, all stages, because it's not going to be just us inventing the wheel.
Right.
We are creating the community piece of it.
Yes.
And then inviting the others to say, okay, it's time for us to band together and support the community that we are all serving. It's like what you said, because your whole thing is money magic, right? And that, you know, and magic, but there's also, it's like when you think about it, magic is, it's real, and yet it's not, right?
It's all over the place. Let me give you an example. Look,
Okay.
Here's the thing, is that many times we're told that change takes a long time. It takes forever and ever and ever and ever, when in fact change really takes only but a half a second. It's the getting ready to change that makes all the difference. So I'm going to show you how change is possible very, very quickly. For instance, if yellow was the change we were, and magically blue is the change we want, it happens literally in a moment's notice. It doesn't take any time. It's just the getting ready to change. So watch. As I continue to poke the yellow, the old, and keep pulling out the blue or the new, it's very simple. Change happens, but it happens a little bit at a time. Notice it didn't change all at one time. So you continue to keep change right in here, and then all of a sudden, as if by magic, watch. Now, I think a lot of people are guessing that maybe there's, hold on a second, there's nothing. Let me tell you how it works. I cheat. I cheat. I use two silk handkerchiefs. One I keep in full view. The other one I place right here in the secret compartment in the palm of my left hand. A little hard to see at first. Let me show you how it works. I reach through the hand and I pull the blue silk handkerchief through the empty left hand. The last time through, I secretly open the trap door and I can pull the yellow one out from within inside. Now, before the trick starts, I go someplace secret where nobody else can see me. I make sure that all the ends are neatly and carefully tucked away so as not to expose how the trick is done. Then and only then I can open the hand without exposing the trick. Any questions? No questions? Okay. All right. Now the good news is you can use any two colored silk handkerchiefs you like. It doesn't matter to me as long as they're blue and yellow. I say that for a very simple reason. Last night I was doing this for a group of folks and I was using two blue silk handkerchiefs. It's a cool trick. Yeah,
that is a cool trick. I mean,
now here's the good news. More blue, once again, more yellow, and change occurs like magic. And that's all we're doing here today, is we're creating change one person at a time, $1 at a time, one moment at a time, and literally 1 second at a time. So as we make the change, it's not... sorry. This is known as inadvertently slipping out, or more technically referred to as oops.
Oops. That sounds like a technical term Tamara would use.
That's right. We'll stick it back in and hope that nobody will ever notice as I continue to pull the blue one in the top and pull the yellow one from the bottom. It looks like it's changing colors. I want to make sure that all the ends are neatly and carefully tucked away so as not to expose how the trick is done. Then and only then I can open the hand without exposing, and I bow to wild and thunderous applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No. I mean it from the heart of my bottom. I do. I really do. You know, you're embarrassing me. Sit down, please. Sit down. Everybody,
I love
please.
it.
Relax. Sit down. Really, it's nothing. Really, I can tell by the applause. Oh, she even got the horn on. Hi. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
So the sleight of hand.
Yes.
You know, like you think about it, the sleight of hand. It really, when you think of even life, and I'm going to say it, even in dealing with cancer, we can have the sleight of hand, and we can say, okay, either cancer can totally take the color away, we can allow it, or we can say, I am going to say to cancer. I am going to live my life, and I may choose to have a yellow
Right.
then I may change it to blue, and then I may be in a multicolored thing going on right now,
Absolutely.
and then it would be like, okay, okay, and needs to turn. Okay, so then it's a matter of full ta-da, and we are the magicians. We can be the ones to mastery that ourselves and saying, cancer, you don't get to win.
That's right.
And something as simple as scarves, something as simple as yellow and blue, something that we may take for granted can bring so much joy, and it's all a matter of our attitude, right?
Absolutely. It's attitude that gets you gratitude, that gets you the results you're looking for in your life. There's no two ways about it. It is the mindset. Listen, if again, Henry Ford said it probably the best and the most simple, and that is, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah. I like simple stuff.
Yeah.
I anybody that knows me, it's like, okay, let's keep it simple. We may know that we're going to change the world, but we're going to keep it simple in the way we're doing it, right? And
Still people to people.
Buddies, as simple as buddies, friends, and saying you don't have to do it alone. And what a simple concept. And it really, my doctor and nurses were the ones that really kind of said, hey, do you guys realize what you've got going on? And then when I started going out there and realizing that it is so unique for people to feel that connection, because our system in protecting us is actually isolating us, isn't it?
Too often, and the technology certainly hasn't done us any great favor in the social environment. There's social media, but the more we become connected to our devices and technology, the less we become connected to each other, it seems. And so this is a way that we can leverage technology to bridge the gap from high tech back to high touch, which is where we need to be.
Absolutely.
Hey, what up?
Spencer Rose from Chicago. Good to see you here. I'm so excited that you showed me that I can actually see comments, because yes, Chicago is checking in, and Chicago, we're going to be streaming live tomorrow, Tuesday evening from Angels. Spencer, you may want to go check that out and be there with the group at 9 p.m. Pacific, and that is 11 p.m. your time in the central area. So we have live events going on with this.
This is unprecedented. There's no two ways about it. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, huh? It's like, okay, don't tell us that we can't create magic, right?
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Last year when we went live for the 24 hours, we were told that, truthfully, I didn't know that we were going to be making history. We just needed to do it. It's like, okay, it can be done. I have an app. I have determination. I can stay up.
Right.
We're going to make, we're going to draw that line in the sand, and we're going to say, and it was truly, and I went to Las Vegas to make that first year stand to say we will become the modern day Jerry Lewis telethon. I think I even was telling you then, okay, we're going to be doing this, and we're going to need all sorts of really amazing heart-centered people that have interesting messages that, yes, with the magic and with music, and it's all healing through it, because there's a healing property when it's hard to be sad when you're smiling.
Right. It is. Yeah. Your neurology and physiology are inextricably intertwined. So there's no two ways to divorce those things. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so to then be, and I actually did invite him on because I'm like, it's because of you. I'm doing 36 hours this year because one of my advisors, he's one of my advisors on my advisory board. He's like, okay, Tamara, so you did it last year for 24 and broke records. Okay, so are you gonna like ramp it up? And I'm like, don't challenge me. I'm like, okay, what do you mean? He's like, well, don't you think you should do like 36 hours? And I'm like, okay, game on. So I'm like, you got to come on with me then. And so he'll be coming on and talking about that because, it may not be perfect, everyone. We're still in, and you're going to see some raw, talking to our tech team or whatever it may be, our volunteers, because they're here with us and everything. However, we're streaming throughout the world.
Yep. Yeah, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Is to make a difference. Listen, none of us here teach the walking on water class at the YMCA. We're just here to make a difference in any way we can. And so you're going to see raw, you're going to see real, you're going to see what it is that it takes to make a difference. And sometimes it ain't pretty.
Yeah.
But it does what it needs to do, right?
Right. Well, I think back and thank you all of those that have been involved with this so far, because I think back to even, the difference from last year to this year and how incredible of a jump we've made, going forward, because what is happening for those that may be tuning in for the very first time is that we are all about the person and those people that love them, that have heard 3 words no one wants to hear and too many are. That's right. And that is, you have cancer.
Yep.
Too many people are hearing it, aren't they?
It's true. My own personal experience is that pretty much my entire family was impacted or died from cancer at some level. So, it has deep affinity for me. But you can't throw a stone and not hit somebody whose life has not been impacted by cancer in some way, shape, or form. And yes, there might be some lifestyle choice, but in fact, it's just what it is. And our goal is we can't change what happens to us, but we can change what we do about what happens to us.
Yes, that is it. Thank you for saying, Dean. Yes, that is exactly what the goal is. And that is exactly what Chemo Buddies for Life is.
Yeah.
And that's why we actually say healing through connections within the Buddies Network, because we want to take the scary out of cancer, number one. Yep. And number 2, diffuse. Some people say, well, why the name? Well, the name is because of the 2 original people. We met in a chemotherapy room. I'm one of them. I was there. I know. And what it did was it changed what our doctors said, the frequency of the room.
Sure.
Because we just didn't let it get us down.
Right.
We were bald. I lost my,
You got a good bald head, girlfriend. You got a good bald head.
Yeah, it's funny.
Anytime you want.
Thank you. It's funny, that picture that Skip put in there with in that video. It's funny because you can't see it. I was the story goes is that I had that chicken fuzz. I had that baby fuzz on mine. I wanted that beautiful egghead. I was like, okay, because I didn't wear wigs, though. I've got plenty of them. We're going to use them in one of the segments later in the hours. But I didn't wear one because it just wasn't my thing. And so they took my razor away because we can't cut ourselves, and they took all the scissors away from me, but they didn't take my tweezers. And I was put, yes, I was put in solitary confinement because of my story with my why behind the why. We had pneumonia in the house, my mom, and then she exposed my father and my granddaughter. We had 4 generations living in my home. So I'm stuck in the back of the house where my room is, and basically they threw food into me. I had a little mini fridge, and it's like, okay, we're going to keep you aside. And so I had prearranged to have my exercise bike and movies and books and keeping myself entertained, because I didn't know what I was going to be facing, but I knew that I wanted to stay active. Well, I started tweezering. I did, because I had plenty of time. And the story then goes, because my doctor, he's kind of younger. You saw him in the video that was showed. He's got a little bit of a sense of humor. And so as my hair started growing back, I started having little pockets where there was no hair growing back because I had tweezered it, right? I did little areas and to get bored, and then I'd go to another one. And he said, "What'd you do?" Because he knew me. And I told him, and he goes, "Oh, Tamara." And he couldn't pull it off for long, but he's like, "The hair follicles and everything." And he's trying to sound so scientific. And I'm like, did I mess it up? And is it never going to grow back? It's like, no, it will grow back, but it's just going to take a little longer. But, it was like, what it is it's like, okay, what is it? What is it that we do? How do we go about it? Yes. The reality of it in there, bald, I lost my fingernails, I lost my toenails, I lost my voice. I literally, my face, for people that don't know, my face was completely, it looked like I had open sores, because I actually I have an oncology dermatologist, because our family also has skin cancer issues, and I had been treated for pre-cancer. And I went, my other oncologist made me go look, say, okay. And he said, "Oh, you're getting a double bang for the buck." And so, it was like, okay, my body decided to do all of these things. The reason I'm sharing all of this is it goes back to the magic. Because, when you think about what you were doing with the magic and the magic act, and it can be, if you will, smoke and mirrors, right? And everything. Well, what is it sometimes all of this can be? What is it really that we are? What is the core of who we are? And it's not the hair, it's not the fingernails, it's not the voice even. It's the heart, mind, and soul. And it's like magic, it's like, you're up there and you've got this whole thing going on, but there's a message behind it. And there's that hope, that entertainment, that fun, right?
Yeah, it is. And it is fun, and again, 40 years of my life as a professional showroom entertainer, casinos, cruise ships, corporate events, things like that. And, I figured if I could make a difference by entertaining, giving people a mental vacation for, 30, 60, 90 minutes at a time, or I could share some principles that will radically transform the quality of their lives, then what would I rather do with that 30, 60, 90 minutes? So I spend most of my time as a professional international speaker, but I still leverage the tool, the power of magic, as a teaching tool. Here, I'll tell you. Let me give you a little sample. Nothing big.
Okay, I'm going to take myself down, and I'm going to give you the full screen right now.
Whatever your heart desires, I'm here to serve. So the goal is, I'm just gonna riffle through the cards, and you can say stop. And when you say stop, I will. That'll be your card chosen at random. Say stop anytime you want.
Stop.
Okay, look at the card. Remember it. I'll not even look at the camera.
Okay, got it.
It's important you remember that card, because if you forget the card, the end of the trick is really stupid. Science.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now, here's the thing. The magic happens only when you understand that there's magic happening. Watch. If I were to go looking for the card, might be difficult to find because there's 52 other choices. We're all faced with choices. We're all faced with a ton of choices. And some of them stick out more than others. Look, we can go for any one of these, or we can go for this one right here. And that's not your card, mind you. But sometimes things stick out. Sometimes things get in the way. We're not going to let that bother us. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look behind us to see if we can find an answer to the solution that we're looking for. Doesn't seem like it's very obvious, but if you watch real careful, one card and only one card has a red back, is different from the rest. So Tamara, what was the card that you selected at random only a moment ago?
A King of Hearts. Whoa!
See, that's magic. And again, as a tool, it can be used because here's the thing. The brain does this thing. What we hear or what we say has a certain level of impact. But then you start involving the other senses, then you have a greater level of impact. Like, for instance, all right, I'm not going to confuse you with a whole deck of 52 cards. Do me a favor, Tamara, think of any one of the 52 cards, any one but the King of Hearts that you just selected and the two Jokers. Any card at all. Have you got one?
Yes.
Think of it? All right. What if I told you the card you were merely thinking of is printed on the face of this card? That'd be kind of a cool trick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, that'd be a miracle. I can't do that. So, all right. For the first time aloud, what was the card you were thinking of only a moment ago?
An ace, a diamond.
Ace diamond.
Yeah, the diamond. Yeah, the diamond ace.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The ace. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I heard you. I'm just sorry. A little hard to see at first, but if you look real careful, here's the good news. It doesn't matter what you think is possible. Together, we can make magic happen.
Yeah.
That's what Chemo Buddies for Life is doing today, making a difference. Because regardless of the answer you think, every answer has been thought of, every contingency, every outcome, every possibility. The answer is right there in front of you. See, it's impossible to be wrong with Chemo Buddies for Life.
Right.
That's the good news. And that's all we're asking you is to partner. We're not asking you to donate, put money in, get nothing in return. We're asking you to partner with us to make the magic happen for those who need you. Hey, it might be a trip to the doctors that helps get resource. It might be a custom-made wig. It might be taking care of some bills while they're in the middle of process, or it might be bringing in a loved one from out of town to help offset some of those costs or expenses. Those dollars that you invest are not just it's making a difference in people's lives. And that's what we're asking you. That's all we're asking you is every possibility. And again, $1, one person at a time. That's all we're asking.
That's absolutely true. So true. And in fact, the thing that I love about our organization is that our buddies serve each other.
Yes.
And in fact, on the website, we have enroll, become a buddy, be a buddy, and be a volunteer.
Sure.
Because we want both, become a buddy and a volunteer, because when you serve others, you really have a purpose. And we have had so many of our volunteers be our buddies, and their doctors have said, what are you doing? Because you are doing so much better than medically we can even explain.
Right.
And I've talked to my doctors about this because they're the ones that convinced me, in particular the one that was willing to film with us. That was a choice. He's filmed with us a few times.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's because he truly believes that exactly what you're sharing is that for us to be there for each other, for the ace, the king, the queen, the jack, the 10,
together,
all the families throughout the world. It gives me goosebumps in regards to I see the power of it daily.
Yep.
And we are doing it. And I would love for you to be able, because you've been around long enough, you've been watching this.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say in regards to what you saw before and where we have been and where we are going? Because, I mean, people need to believe in not only the vision, but the people that are involved. You've been watching as a third party person, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a knowledge, because you have a knowledge of business systems, you have a money knowledge, you have been in the nonprofit world.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say to people?
Well, obviously, the good news is that it can only get better. So, from idea, from what I call aha, because you had an idea, from aha to ta-da, or from idea to inception, or into implementation, then into impact for others, because that's what you're, every day, one new step. This wasn't something you just thought of this morning and decided to do. It took days, weeks, months, and now years to generate just this level of result. And this 36 hours is going to make a difference in somebody's forever as a direct result of the aha into the now ta-da.
Right.
So
I love that.
That's what this, again, I hate to belabor the point, but the thing is that, we've all been lied to as even from the business perspective, right? Is that we told it's B2B or C to G or business to business, consumer to government, or consumer C to B, or consumer to business, or business to consumer. That's a lie. It's all fabrication. It's all P to P, or people to people. Listen, if I don't care if you're the CEO, the ETO, the CIO, the CEIEIO. Whether you're the CEO or you're the person sitting at the front ground on the front line taking my hamburger order at a fast food place, you still have to put your pants on the same way. You still have to dress. You still have to take care of yourself. You have to feed yourself and your family. All of those things. It's all people to people. And that's all we're doing today, is we're just bringing people together to make a difference for people who not I won't say can't speak for themselves, but could use a little encouragement at a time such as this.
Exactly. Well said. And well said, because there is, I can say for the 5 different times I have heard it from myself and then all the others in that one line. I mean, we're talking intimate. My daughter, my brother, my mom, my grandfather, and myself. Yeah. It's not that I didn't have my personality. I have now.
Sure.
I'm that kind of person that, okay, I'll find a way to win. I'll get through this next, and yet I did have the win taken out from, because there's no way to face that and not have it in one way or another, no matter how strong you are. Just take a moment at least and say, wow, where am I going to go? And to be able to say, all right, I'm here, community. I could use some reinforcements. I could use a little of that love, that humor, and some hope, and some heart, and a little of that magic. And yeah, I could use someone to rely on and be there with me through the journey. And I don't have anybody local. I could use some help. And maybe I do need to be retrained, because I'm hearing that I'm going to have some side effects that I will not be able to continue in my old life. However, I'll have a new life, and my new life, and it can be a better life, but I may need some retraining. Any of those kind of things. And to be able to go to one place and find all of it and feel like, okay, and not feel funny about being a part of a community, a home, that's pretty refreshing.
Yeah, it is. And I got to tell you, one of the most selfish things we can do as a human race is serve somebody else. Now,
Yeah,
that
true.
sounds kind of weird, but Tamara, I know you know what I'm talking about because
Yeah.
you're in a life of service. But if your habit is not, you really want to make a difference in your life, help somebody else. Listen, and I said one of the most selfish things we can do is serve somebody else. Let me ask you a question. The last time you simply served, whether it's served at a soup kitchen or helped somebody with a donation on the street, or however help somebody move their house, whatever it happens to be, when you help somebody, you get something you can't get in any other way, shape, or form, and that is you get this endorphin rush. You get this ability to, oh my gosh, and it is kind of selfish that you get to feel really good. So if you got to feel really good, all that, why would you stop doing that?
I don't know.
Imagine adding that to your everyday life and including it into your business and your whole pay it forward and profit. So as you add VIP, we call it the VIP formula for getting anything you want on command and demand. Really simple 3-step process. You simply start by adding value. That means something of value to others that generates an impact. That's the V, the I. Add value that generates impact for others, and then you profit emotionally, spiritually, racially, relationally, intellectually, and of course, as business owners, we want to profit financially as well. But it's VIP, add value that generates impact for others. They will lend you their influence, and then you profit emotionally, spiritually, relationally, intellectually, and of course, as business owners, financially. Imagine how much better your life, imagine how much better your business, your life will be, and your business, if you simply find ways to be of value that generate impact for others. And then you can't not profit emotionally. You feel good, right? We don't all do things for little strips of green paper or multicolored paper for our European and Canadian friends, right? So we do it because how many times, most of my business is run because I get to do what I love to do, and I get to make a massive difference, and I get simply rewarded for the results I produce and help produce in others. That's it. You want to make more money? Help more people. This is a great way to grow your business and make a difference and selfishly feel good. It's okay. You're entitled.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, Dean, and I will say this, that in fact, Noelle was just commented. She's won so many. I could go back on so many of the comments that many of the people that are our volunteers, and they actually came because they're like, okay, I'll volunteer. Yeah, you need this, Tamara. I get it. You were just in that competition, so you're kind of behind the 8 ball. Okay, I'll add some of my time, and then many of them. Another one, Teresa Snyder, my dear friend out of Texas. Many of them are now saying, they're actually saying to me, I have had one of the most incredible experiences in my life. I've had so many of them coming to me and saying, you don't understand. I thought I was going to come and help you.
Ha.
You don't understand how much
preach it, girl. Go on.
This has changed my life in putting this time in. And so what do? They start putting more time in and more time in, because they see that their time, their time is actually making a difference for the community that they're here to serve.
Yeah.
Yet, even more amazing to them, it is actually making that much bigger of an impact in their own life. You talk about that 10x thing that's so big right now. 10x. You want to 10x your life?
Mm-hmm. Serve your way to success.
Serve
in a heartbeat.
There's no doubt. Yes, Chemo Buddies for life. I've lost count now of how many volunteers we have, and I mean award-winning, top of their game people that, and then the coaches on top of it that we won because of winning the first Global Next Impactor. Yes. I mean, they've been valued with all of the prize package, quote unquote, that's come. That's supposed to be $500,000. You talk about a nonprofit now, because all of that I'm pushing through for service for this community. It's
Yes.
not about me.
No.
I ran under my name because my story is bigger than the nonprofit, but it's only because the story is going to inspire those many more that then are going to say, wow, you know it, I understand, I get it. I've been there, I've done that too. And this can happen to anybody because stress can create the cancer. Cancer has become then its own stressor, and it's become that, you talk about that circle effect, right? And that, and I mean, you could do that circle thing, I'm sure, all day long with your magic stuff, but yet you can change it, right? You can change the circle, and that circle can, all of a sudden, something can poof, and you can make it disappear. Because my grandmother used to say the circle of life, which Lion King must have heard my grandma talk, because she was around the corner from Disneyland, right? Okay, because that was like, she always talked about it. And so I think about that. And yet, the circle of life, we're going to be sharing that we can change the dynamics of some of the genetics that we may think, oh, I've just got bad genes, I'm predisposed, or I've been experiencing this, and now this is going to happen. We can change that circle, right?
Absolutely.
By having a community. Yes.
Yeah.
We have Christopher Kaysen from halfway around the world. He's in Cambodia or Laos or somewhere right now, traveling, and he's here right now with us.
I love the last name of one of your guests, Agape, and that
Yes.
literally means love, and
Yes.
unconditional love, actually, a divine love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and in fact, that's not by accident. That's by design. Mm-hmm. Her name, and she is going to be towards the latter part of tomorrow on Giving Tuesday. I'm looking at my board. I've got boards everywhere, guys. If you saw this filming room, she is actually scheduled to be on at 7 p.m. Pacific time, translating to 10 p.m. Eastern time. And she's going to be talking about health and wellness. I mean, this is a woman that has studied scientific, and then she goes into the woo-woo, as she calls it, and again, I go back to you in the magic, and it's like the VIP, which I love that. When you were on the Service Hero show, I remember going through your platform, and you really you do exactly what it is that you teach.
Yes. Yeah,
you
that's
do.
The only way. That's the only way. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about a circle just a moment ago, and this is just a rubber band. And, obviously it's sort of a circle, but you see any tears or breaks or holes or wires or trapdoors, hidden assistance of any kind, just a regular. Are there any holes in there? Well, there's a big one right here in the middle. That's why it's a circle. So here's the thing. We have a tendency we have the flexibility, we can stretch. Now, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these. You can actually see them. You can actually see them stretch right there, right? No fast moves. Watch. We can bend, but we don't have to be broken. Watch. Now watch that bottom one. That bottom, I'll come real close. There it is. Just like that. See, the thing is, this thing doesn't have to break us. It requires a simple amount of flexibility. And I know I'm just using rubber bands to make a point, but you can actually see that breakthroughs happen all the time. When we think we're being stretched the most, like it might hurt us in some way, but watch real closely. Watch real close as we stretch. And right at that moment, the breakthroughs happen. That's what we're looking for. That's all we're asking for is help somebody have a breakthrough. And it might be an emotional breakthrough. It might be a relational breakthrough. It might be a connection that you and you alone can serve people with. Help them again, make the magic happen for them in their lives. So just interject a little, because it's the magic, right? It's the magic, right? So we might as well get some magic.
I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. So as we start to round it out, do you have any other of your magic tricks that you wanted to share with us, and so that I don't take that time away from everybody, because I know that they're totally loving it. And in fact, Noelle is saying unconditional love for all mankind.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There are 4 kinds of love, right? And that's the eros, the philia, the storge, and the agape. And the agape is the only all unconditional love for all mankind. And I love that. That's brilliant. Brilliant. So nothing I can think of. I'm just going to say, give everybody a choice. You don't have to go to a screen. This is, again, when you get a choice, the magic is really simple. So we'll try a little sample again. Think of any other card you'd like to think of. This is not the same one, right?
Okay. Okay. All right.
So, a total different choice. What was the card? What was the card you were thinking of?
2 of clubs.
2 of clubs. Wrong. Take off all your clothes. Just joking. Joking. What if on the other side this card?
A little bit of comedy.
Right. What if on this card the other side of this card said? What was the card? What you thought of?
2 of clubs.
2 of clubs. If this card said the same thing, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would be. It is. It's the same thing.
I love it. Woo, woo.
Now I'm a little embarrassed. I actually even did that. See, the thing is, it doesn't have, this is KISS. Keep it super simple so that you can keep it super successful. It doesn't have to be, listen, I don't care if you're a performer or presenter, if you want, take a card, glue some cards together and write the same thing on it and get people involved and encourage them. That's all we're asking you is get involved. And it's because of what you do that people who otherwise wouldn't get served. So that's the real magic. I have no tricks for you. The goal is to create not just magic, but miracles in people's lives through human intervention. So serve, be selfish, be as selfish as you want to be, and serve. Serve through your wallet, serve through your heart, serve through your mind, serve through your time, your talent, your treasure, and your trust. But serve. It's going to make all the difference. Serve your way to success. I've been saying that for 25 years, and it still is the genesis and the core of my entire life and my entire business. And again, I don't teach the Walking on Water class at the YMCA. I blow it. I breathe, therefore I blow it. It's just part of being human, right?
Yeah. I
but
love being
we do
human.
The best we can with the resources we have, Tamara.
I love being human.
Right? Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, walking on water. I mean, I think that's reserved. That and so I'm all right with it, keeping it super simple. That works for me. That's the kind of stuff I love. So, and also I want to encourage people to go to the website and sign up to be a buddy. Sign up to be a buddy, because we are looking for people we are building the community. That's one of the goals, is that we want support buddies, and we want chemo buddies, and don't let that word get to you. You can say cancer buddies, you can say whatever you want, comfort buddies, whatever it is that, but the idea here is be a buddy, and the Buddies Network. And so I would encourage people, it's a simple website, yet keep it simple. And so that you can maneuver around pretty simply, and decide to serve. And while you're there, I love this. I have my little bag of chips too, and I love this cup of coffee. It reminds me. I love my coffee. Don't you know? Yeah, I mean, this is my real one. So I mean, big. And so
just hook up an IV connection.
I know.
Your caffeine,
people,
right?
They know that would be totally would love that. That would be really keeping it simple. But what I say is that it's pretty simple to give up the fancy coffee, and many of us have those little fancy things that we treat ourselves.
Sure.
Yet I will say that we'll be talking about her throughout this, but we have social proof that we've been able to extend people's lives because they've wanted to, and doctors have validated this. They wanted to be here, so they were. It's amazing how that works,
Right.
how the power of the mind works.
Yeah.
And the question I have for you is, if you could have had one more moment, one more day, one more week, month, or year with someone that you lost to cancer, what would you pay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not always about money, but the question is, I know that's a priceless proposition. And we have helped people to be around, and we've got it documented, and we've got the social proof. And so this program works. It's simple, yet it's so simple that it needs to, we can take it out there now. We've got it to that point where there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to. We just need to raise this cash. And in truth, Dean, we have here on the line 50,000. That's not a huge amount when it comes to nonprofits that we're looking to raise. I mean,
no,
we could have really put it out there a lot bigger. We could have, but what we wanted to do was to keep it real and keep it simple and say, we are responsible. We watch our pennies. We've been very, very careful with what we're doing, and we are making a difference. So trust us, because I'll tell you, one more day with my mother, one more day with my grandfather.
Priceless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can people, get a hold of you? We're gonna just for your knowledge, Dean, and for everybody else, we have on the cb4l.org site, we have a team of people working fervently
fervently, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It starts with an F, and there you go. It goes with an E. That they are populating the blog area with everybody's bios right now, so that we can share the love, because you guys are coming out of the goodness of your hearts. We are not paying you. You're doing it as a donation of time because you love us and you believe in the cause. And we want people to be able to know who you are and follow you. So just know that if what Dean shared in his VIP magic is something that you want to learn more about, stay tuned. Keep coming back to the site, and you'll be able to find out more. You're all over the place, right, Dean?
Yeah, just payitforwardandprofit.com. And again, there's nothing to buy there, just more free tools, more free resources. And if you like it, then take those resources, make a difference in your life and yourself and others, and then take those resources and help pay it forward. Help somebody else, pay it forward, then profit.
Okay, well, we're going to end the program now. Okay, we're doing this in bite-sized chunks, everybody, 1 hour at a time. So this hour is now done. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you for your service. And everybody come back in just a few moments. Bye.